So tell me, what do you think about this whole suicide epidemic?
Well, I think it's coming first and foremost from the lack of communication is part of it. So nobody's talking. Peers aren't even holding themselves responsible. They're just trying to compete and make everybody like each other. The other thing is happening is they're being bombarded by games and music and TV, even things that are supposed to be good for them.
Right.
And schools are actually doing it. They're sitting down in front of these kindergartners and said, well, maybe you were born a boy, but do you want to be a boy? You can be a girl if you want. You don't even have to have any particular sex.
Wow.
Everything's okay. We're not going to talk about gender because we don't know what you're going to want to be someday. Well, what does that do to a child besides confuse them?
That's the point.
Confuse them.
That's the point.
Okay, so we wonder why we have people walking around saying, well, I don't know what I want to do today. Do I like a girl to like a boy? I mean, they're thinking about sex and all this gender stuff when they haven't even figured out who they are as a person.
Right.
They haven't even figured that out. And they don't know what their relationship is to anybody else.
Got it.
So they're lost. So they're lost and they're depressed.
There's a lot of depression. There's a lot of
And
depression.
it's going to get worse if we don't stop it.
Well, how do you suggest we do that? How do you suggest that we as a society, as groups of people and or individuals,
Right.
stop it? How does you stop
We
that?
need to get into the schools, especially the parents that still have children in schools, because they have more power. They need to get into schools and say, I don't like what you're teaching my children. It's not truth. And as a group, we're going to stop this because I don't know who gave you permission to teach my child anything you wanted. But if you don't change it, and as a group, we're going to close the school down. We're going to pull our kids out because you're not going to teach them this stuff.
Okay. Good point. And how would you suggest should we go by something like that? Would you organize?
I would organize.
Okay.
Because unity is strength. That's the reason they're trying to have disunity. You got strength and unity when you're all the same force.
That's what you're saying. I'm starting to get it. So there was more unity in the 60s.
Yes.
Because I remember you had the various groups, you had everyone was protesting about something related to society because society was attempting to do what they wanted to do. And people were like, no, we want to be able to, have power in our own communities without the government spying on us. We want to be able to have education that's related to us, religion. We want to be able to see the people that looks like us on our church walls. And you guys, the government is telling us no and fighting us. So therefore, we're organizing and we're going to make our voice heard. I remember that.
And one step further than that, you're younger than me. So you don't know when it started.
No.
You got into that. I mean, everybody thinks it's about the 60s. It's actually about when I was born.
Right.
When I was a baby, my parents were in the belief that if somebody in authority does it, that it must be right.
Okay.
So they never questioned authority.
Right.
They never looked into, is this true what they're doing? Is it okay that they're doing? So by the time we got to be in the 60s,
Yes.
we were at the teenage mentality. We were at that age where we're rebellion because we're going like, when did they do this? That is not what our Constitution says.
Right.
When did they change all these rules? Our parents were sleeping. They were sleeping and they were silent and they were trusting. And they weren't trusting in the source they should trust in. There's only one source that's not going to lie to you.
That's God.
And they were trusting authorities that were of the world.
Right.
And they sold us down the river. And by the time my age group got there, we went like, what in the world is going on?
Right.
And so we got mad. We fought.
Right.
We fought. Okay. We might not always fought the right things because we were so busy being upset that things had changed that used to be right. So, and we were still like too young.
So, and that's what you're saying, that you may not have fought all the right fight.
Right.
But you guys knew the fight.
We knew that somebody better step up and
so you guys, at least you stepped up and you became active in various areas, and maybe one of those areas or two of them may not have been a good fight.
And we started researching. We started being inquisitive. We started asking questions. We started demanding that they show us why this was done.
Right.
And realize that there was a lot of times there wasn't any reason.
There was nothing there.
There was no reason. Somebody wanted to.
Right.
And so then everybody went along with it because, I mean, as Christians, we're sheep as far as we follow the master.
Right, right.
But when you got sheep in society that follow whatever, and we got a lot of that going on,
That's not good.
then sheep will walk right over the cliff.
You're
If
correct.
somebody goes before them, they're going to just all die at the
That's
bottom.
pretty much what Jim Jones did. If you
Yep.
remember the guy in a tragedy, Jim
All
Jones
you
did
got-
all those
confuse
beliefs.
them.
Yep.
As soon as you confuse the people, they're going to follow who they think might be right.
That is so true. That is so very true.
And our youth does not know who to listen to. So what they're
Because they're
listening to,
confused.
they're listening to each other, or they're listening to the radical stuff that's saying everything's wrong
That's on the fringes. Yeah.
because they know something's wrong, but they don't know what. Their parents aren't talking to them. So they're listening to whoever's being the loudest. Who's ever making the most noise is getting their attention.
Wow. That is
That's the
so
elephant in the room.
That is so true. That is so true. Wow.